Baker Mayfield was talking about the Bucs, and I'm paraphrasing, how much more fun or less intense it is without Brady, and like, what's he even talking about Tom Brady for when he ain't there anymore?
Well, I think that the reason why he's probably talking about Tom Brady is because people in the organization relayed information, and most of the organization is still in place. If you get Tom Brady in that window, of course it's going to be intense. I mean, if you listen to the greatest, man, Jordan, man, people were, man, don't be around that guy. Now they're saying Tom Brady. Oh, man, the pressure around it, they're making championships.
Correct.
They're the greatest that ever do it.
All right, guys, welcome to the episode of Fully Loaded. I'm here with my buddy Cris Carter. I'm Shawn Mike. How you doing, man?
Good, bro. What's happening?
Everything's happening, dude. Thanks for being here, man. I'm excited. I appreciate you. I got to talk to you because everybody keeps talking about it, so I want to ask you about this. I was at a fundraiser, and everybody's talking about Diddy at the fundraiser, which is weird, you know. And this guy came up to me, and he said to me, man, there must be a lot of nervous people out there. I said, what do you mean? He said, you know, his parties and everybody's on videotape and whole deal, blah, blah. And I said, yeah. And he said, he's a pastor. And he said, man, I got some pastors I know that might want to be nervous too, because I didn't realize how much was being recorded or how much was under surveillance or how much. And I don't know if those worlds, like from an athlete standpoint, when you were coming up, you were in the league, you were doing your thing, and you see like all these other things that have gone on previous to Diddy, are there really that many people out there nervous as hell that they're on some list, they're under surveillance, they're on a video, they're on audio, they're at a party, they're out a freak out? Are there that many people out there, in your opinion, that are looking around going like today when they wake up in the morning and see their names in the news? Terrified. Like literally like waking up in the morning just wondering if like.
Yes. It only takes one time. It only takes one compromising thing.
So
whatever your brand is, whatever energy you've been putting out there into the universe, is it real? Is it make-believe? You know, so many people are not their true, authentic self all the time. So many actors, so many people trying to be something else. And so it's not only were you there physically, but it's like, what message have you been sending to other people that now do I have to clarify? And then if you happen to be part of the clergy, because I'm sure that there were people that were involved.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why a clergy member would be hanging out with Diddy at one of his parties and definitely trying to stay to the after party. Shoot, my mom taught me, don't be the last one to leave. I didn't know how helpful that would ever be.
That's good. Mom, don't be the last one to leave.
Right. And I'm not about consuming other people's products.
Yeah.
Like I'm not about, I don't drink, but I'm not about someone fixing me a drink. Man, if they rolling cigars and everything, I'd like to see the guy rolling it and everything. I don't want nobody to bring me a cigar from somewhere that might be spliced up or something like that. Like I'm not into that. And, I'm not into staying late with a whole bunch of people, man. I've done some wrong in my life, but most of that shit been by myself.
Yeah. By myself to myself. By myself to myself. Yeah.
But plenty clergy members, yes, they will be disgraced when their name is part of it. And there's going to be plenty other athletes and entertainers that are all a part of this. Like, hip-hop music and athletes, correct. Oh man, they go hand in hand. So I can guarantee you there are people retired and there are people that are currently playing that are like, ooh, okay. Did he have cameras in the LA house? How many cameras did he have in the Miami house?
When did he start using the cameras?
Yes.
What do they got?
And what was I doing that night? Because it's proven you lose 30 to 40% of your memory.
Correct.
So that's not even under the influence.
Even if you're not screwed up. Yeah.
Yes.
Even if you're not high.
And then now time and everything else and yeah, not good, man.
Terrified. And I have to think about it from a brand standpoint too, especially when you're saying one thing and you're putting out another. Plus, dude, there's no way in the world that guy's offering every dollar in the world and everything he's got, anything to get out. The only thing you got to offer after that is people. I mean, once you offer up all the money you got, the only thing you got to offer up at all is people.
Based on allegedly all the drugs and stuff he was using, imagine what kind of withdrawal he going through right now.
Oh, yeah. What would he say to get the hell to be? Yeah.
Man, to get a fix right now.
Well, somebody said to me the other day something about, and I was like, dude, I was talking about business. He said, man,
Cat Williams, if he offered Cat Williams $50 million for a shot, right now, what would he do for a joint?
He'd give up some names.
What?
That is for sure. And the bigger the better. The bigger the better.
It's just now getting started.
So you think it's just getting started?
Absolutely.
It'll be very interesting. So we was talking last week about Saban and post-Saban, Alabama, and Lane being like, I don't even know that dude. And I don't know why he was even talking about it. Baker Mayfield was talking about the Bucs and how much, and I'm paraphrasing, how much more fun or less intense it is without Brady, and how much. First of all, I don't know why he's talking, but like, what's your take on the whole post-Brady, Baker talking about it at all? The environment, are they gonna is it conducive to winning? Like, what's he even talking about Tom Brady for when he ain't there anymore?
Well, I think that the reason why he's probably talking about Tom Brady is because people in the organization have relayed information, and most of the organization is still in place. Todd Bowles is still there. You know, he took over for Bruce Arians. And if you get Tom Brady in that window, of course it's going to be intense. I mean, Tom Brady I guarantee you the telecast that they're doing at Fox with Tom Brady
is intense.
Yes, it's far more intense. I mean, I have to just watch how I listen to information like that, because, I mean, if you listen to the greatest, man, Jordan, man, people were, man, don't be around that guy. Now they're saying Tom Brady. Oh man, the pressure around it. They're making championships.
Correct.
They're the greatest that ever do it.
They're making diamonds with pressure,
special.
bro. Yeah.
I mean, there's something different about these types of dudes. That's why people that are really into it want to be around that. And Tampa Bay has won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And that dude won one in the first year there.
Correct.
In COVID.
After Patriots, without Belichick.
In COVID.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think that whatever he was doing, they should keep some of that.
But why is that a good look for Baker to even talk about it? I don't understand what does that even come up?
I just think that right now that where he's in the organization, he was never able to get as comfortable as he is in Tampa. He's been to a few organizations, so he's trying to make the comparison that even the organization since Brady, he's a lot more relaxed. It's far more conducive to his style and everything, and they have invested money in him to give him that type of confidence. So I think that it's more of that type of thing
than it was the other thing. That it's my better fit. It's cool for me. I feel good.
Yes,
it's a new environment.
This
after
is what
Brady's
they should
gone.
be doing. He's the new CEO. They should be developing an environment that is conducive to him, how he learns, how he functions, how he moves, how he shakes. That's the organization being cognizant. Okay, guess what? We got Warren Sapp. We got Derek Brooks. We got John Lynch. We got Barber at corner. Hey, man, let's be a ground and pound run team. Let's not spend a whole bunch of money on the quarterback. Yeah. All right? And let's play some defensive football and win us a championship. What's wrong with that?
But to your point, I guess you realize as you keep coming back, you talked about the quarterback, even in college, the way he's viewed, the pros, like he is the CEO.
Yes.
I guess but you know, it's funny. You keep saying it and saying it and saying it. Yes. You look at him last week, dude, like, what's wrong with you? Like, he's the CEO. And I'm like,
he is.
Shit, you all right. He said, don't matter if the wide receiver's a Hall of Fame guy or a cornerback's a Hall of Fame guy and the quarterback is not, he's still the CEO.
He's touching the ball 65 times, man.
Which is why it's so hard to Yeah. So you playing and you're the CEO of the team. Some of them guys don't want to be the CEO.
No,
They don't want.
Not built that way.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. They want to be a role player, but you're the quarterback.
Correct. How do you build them up?
Put a strong team around them, and you give them a lot of false confidence.
Really?
A lot of false confidence.
Just pour into them even though
man, look right into him, man. You my damn guy, man. You my guy, man. Wherever you throw that thing today, I'm going to make that thing happen for you. I'm going to make it rain for you, man. You my guy.
Even though you're like, damn, I wish he was a lot better. But don't matter.
I wish he was. But
when I'm talking to you,
and
you're
even
the
if you
greatest
told me that, you'd be like, hey, man, you don't need to be no better. Why you don't need to be no better? You know what? Because if you know better than that, people won't think it's me. People think it's me. I'm so glad you're just so fucking average.
That's right. That's psychology 101 right there. That's how you build a CEO up right there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You
Perfect.
make me
love it.
good.
All right, so staying with Brady in the league, he's now, I was reading this the other day about what his restrictions are with his telecast, his game show, because of his ownership. Mm-hmm. What can he not do? Like, I get it from a competitive advantage standpoint. I get what the NFL is trying to do, but what can he not do? Like, what is he going to do if he...
I mean, I didn't really get into that. I think that, from a proprietary standpoint, each club is operated separate. And the intel that you might get in the building, especially in a divisional game, people like, if they were to, and they're in, Fox has the NFC for the most part, unless they play cross NFC, AFC, then if you get Kansas City, then you go to interview. You're there in the building on a Friday. If you go to Chargers, you're in the building on a Friday. You're interviewing these players and coaches. You get a lot of information about the organization that you normally wouldn't get as a owner of the Raiders. Like, they don't want you to have that information. They don't want you to have that intel. So there is a small conflict of interest, but Fox is going to do everything that they can to make sure that Tom Brady is supported in the best way to be able to do the best telecast so that he can have a great broadcasting career.
Yeah, because I said he's not permitted to be in another team's facility, witness practice, which you're saying, attend broadcast production meetings, either in person or virtually. Lack of access to coaches and players from games could be the most severe restriction from those meetings. How do you do? So he's going to do his job in a very limited capacity.
He's going to do his job like no one else has ever done that job. And it's hard to not violate that. Because
Correct.
Even like going onto the field, a guy says hi to you, like, hey, man, how you feeling?
Violation.
Feeling good. Like, but it's the first time I thought of this, but the NFL ownership group, they know of everything that New England had done as an ownership group.
Okay.
All the dishonest things.
Okay.
Like, I mean, they operate, man, they operate right on that little line. And I think in approving Tom Brady, and Tom Brady has violated NFL rules, not giving up his communication devices and everything. And he's been suspended. I think that because you've been before us before, we're going to put some things in place
to be proactive.
Because the other owners are saying he was part of when they was taping stuff. He was part of when they was doing stuff. He was part of that. So now, guess what's getting ready to happen? Yeah, you're going to make over $300 million with Fox, but we ain't going to help you.
That's right. We ain't letting you do a Patriots 2.0 with the Raiders. We're not doing that.
No. So for me, I'm just now thinking of this when you start thinking of, wow, with all those restrictions, a guy has put his hard-earned money down. They've never, ever done anything. Well, we've never had someone in this position before either. But number one way to predict future behavior is past behavior.
100%. So did Fox not know when they signed this contract? Did they not know?
No clue.
No idea.
No clue.
Literally.
No clue.
So when this
they wouldn't have signed up for that.
That's what I'm saying.
Because, man, you're paying for access.
Everything. Now he's got to watch everything he does.
On the contrary, look at Peyton Manning and what he does on the telecast with Eli and all his friends.
Yeah.
I mean, my God. I mean, he couldn't do the show if he didn't know all the 100%. People.
It'd be nobody watching. It'd be nothing to watch.
So, our greatest player can never be in communication with our current players or our future players. It doesn't help the telecast.
Correct.
Because it's different when you know people.
Yeah.
It's totally different. The game is different. And it's different when you watch practice. How guys look on film and how they look in person, it's different. Like Randy Moss on film looks different in person. Like his legs and stuff are thicker. He doesn't look as wiry like in person. Like,
really?
Yeah. Like when you see Russell Wilson, be like, man, that dude is shorter in person, but that dude's body, he's wider.
Yeah.
Like it's different. It's all different sensories that the human being has. And you can pick up these things, especially when you've played football 20 years, over 20 years like Brady. And now I can't go to no practice.
But he's got $300 million contract.
No, they're gonna pay him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're gonna pay him. But how much better the broadcast could be, because if I'm a player and on Friday Tom Brady rolls in, or on Saturday I'm the visiting team, he comes to the hotel, and it's like, Tom is cool too.
Yeah.
Like he's not a jerk or nothing.
Yeah.
He's not like,
he's a good dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
People like him.
Yeah.
And guess what? When people guess what they do?
They talk to you. Tell you shit.
Man, I used to tell Chris Collinsworth, Howie Long. I used to tell these dudes, man, James Brown, Ahmad Rashad. I used to tell these dudes everything.
Because you liked them.
Yeah, man, we ain't that way. Man, hey, man, this dude's hurt, man, bro. It's going to be tough, man. We're going to have to really like this dude.
And Brady can't do none of that.
No.
He can't get any information.
No.
Or it's a violation.
Yes.
The Fox should do more due diligence, figure this out. Nobody can see this coming.
It's once in a lifetime. There's one Tom Brady. And then his accolades supersede that. If I tell you that, and a lot of people don't believe it. Oh, man, okay. And this contract right here, that right there, those restrictions right there let you know that everything is not clean with Tom Brady in the NFL.
So you think the other owners are the ones that started bro, you all got to do something.
They have to
league
approve
office,
this.
You got to do this.
And then the league office works for the owners.
Who's got the biggest voice in the ownership group?
Jerry Jones.
Jerry really does?
Robert Kraft.
Really?
Yes. Because they have done so many things that have benefited all the other club members.
Yeah.
Outside of their club.
Monetary standpoint.
Both of them huge football fans. I mean, if you look at, what they did in New England, my man Kraft used to sit in the bleachers, man.
Yeah.
Season ticket holder.
Yeah.
They were going to threaten to move the team, everything. Yeah. But, he invested everything. Jerry invested everything. And they've done great things. And they are level-headed business people as far as where the league should be going. And they're seasoned enough that they've been able to look around the corner and see the future of the league and not be late on that. And that's hard to do when you've been involved for several decades, with the league, to keep yourself current and keep evolving.
Well, I signed some bad contracts, but $300 million limited access is a bad contract. My man. All right. So Bryce Young, he ain't playing. He's now sitting down. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on the club? The kid? Like, what do you think his future looks like, or the present for that team?
Well, I always look at precedent and models. And for every position in the NFL, there is a prototype: height, weight, speed. Even if it's a quarterback, there's a prototype: height, speed, weed, arms, height.
Weed. No weed. Height, speed.
Yes. Well, we prefer the quarterbacks not be on the weed. Speed, velocity.
Yeah.
Like a prototype. Like if you could cut it out, cardboard cut out, what it would look like. So for one, I'm always kind of against smaller quarterbacks because the offensive lines are only getting bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, the center might be the smallest guy is 6'3", 6'4", guards 6'3", 6'4", tackles 6'5" to 6'7". So this game is already hard. Now you're getting ready to, even in high school, a smaller quarterback has limited vision. He goes to college. It's still pros. The game is harder.
Yeah.
And now he has less vision of any play football that he's ever played before. That's why they look so bad playing in the NFL. Not only might have the skill, talent, the comprehend, the speed of the game, anticipation of the game, arm strength, playmaking ability, all those other things. So small has something to do with being able to do your job in the NFL. Now, first pick in the draft, the league ruins more quarterbacks than they make.
The league does.
Yes.
Why?
Because they don't put the necessary items around you for you to be able to be successful.
Got it. Pieces on the team, players on the team, support on the team.
Instability, the coaches. This kid already on his third head coach.
Yeah.
I mean, all the people they fired even before they drafted him. The kid didn't play in the preseason. How can you bench him after 2 games if he ain't playing in the preseason?
Like, those are his games. That's his preseason. You bench him in his preseason.
You traded away Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Brian Burns. Looking for a pass rusher. You traded one away.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for a featured wide receiver. You traded one to Chicago. Mm-hmm. Like, you talking about a disastrous choice. I mean, it couldn't go any worse.
Correct.
So now what do you do? Because of what's going on in the league, and I do believe in the prototype. I do believe in duplication. I do believe in models. If you look at Geno Smith, not a high draft pick, but he resurrected his career in Seattle. Sam Darnold in Minnesota, top 5 pick, top talent, really athletic, USC, all that. When he was with the Jets, he was the youngest player in the NFL.
Yeah.
Now, they almost ruined his career, but he had enough self-awareness and has been able to go a couple other places to get his confidence back. And now he's in Minnesota, where I believe that the head coach, a former NFL quarterback, Kevin O'Connell, has done an amazing job with him. And their personnel, man, their offensive line is top 10 in the league. Their personnel is top 5. Wide receiver, TJ Hawkinson, all-pro tight end, Justin Jefferson. I mean, they got running backs they can throw the ball to, run the ball to. So their personnel is extreme. He's never had that type of personnel. So his career gets resurrected. Baker Mayfield, you and I talked about that. Yep. He's been a couple places after Cleveland, after being the first pick. So, hey, kid, put your chin up. Like, I've seen this movie.
Correct.
It doesn't always end with you being decapitated. Mm-hmm. Like, you can get this turned around. And it's probably not going to be in Carolina. But you are going to be an asset for an organization because you're still on your first contract, and it's not going to take me an awful lot to be able to get you here in the building.
Correct.
So I don't think it's over for him.
Yeah.
But whoever does decide to bring him there, you got to be able to support him. And you have to realize when you go to the airport to pick him up, you're not going to pick up a tall guy, man.
How tall is he? For real.
I think they said 5'11", but I think he's
5'9",
5'10".
5'10".
Yes.
How big you want your quarterback to be in the NFL? I know there's some bit, but how big do you want your quarterback to be, minimally?
Well, I'm going to ask you the question.
Okay.
Then. How many quarterbacks have you seen in the last 20 years that were under 6 foot?
Not many.
Drew Brees, Russell Wilson.
Kyler Murray is well under 6 foot.
But he just now getting, so we don't know what the book's gonna look like.
Yeah.
He might get the car back to the mansion
or
with no accidents,
yeah.
but it might you might be calling a ding guy. So when you look at even like the modern passing era, or go whatever window you want, last 10 years, last 20 years. These guys have not been successful playing pro football. So when I'm watching college and I'm watching this kid play with 10 or 15 other pros at Alabama, I'm thinking, am I going to be able to put that kind of round? No.
Correct. So why take him with the number 1 pick?
The kid from Ohio State, something supposedly with his test scores or something, somebody had tainted the water. And they were in love with this kid.
Really?
And C.J. Stroud goes on to take Texans to the playoffs. And yeah.
It's hard to recover from that one. Not taking Stroud. I don't know. It just blows my mind.
You can't make those kind of, and you can't make misses on big or small, man.
Yeah.
Go with big. Look at your head. Look at that, okay?
Yeah.
Big, man.
I do got a big
Thank
head.
you.
Yeah.
Face, you got to go with big. It's a big man sport.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go with big. If not, trade the pick away and do something different.
Go do something else. Go in a different direction. Yeah.
But you small, man. Be careful with small.
That's good advice. I think that's good advice.
Yeah.
All right. I want to wrap with this. 2 things you said. 1 and 22, 1 and 23. Talk about the Bills and Josh Allen. You had talked about they weren't built necessarily the piece around him to win a championship. And same with Lamar Jackson with the Ravens, and it was in 23. Do you see either one of those teams now that we're in 24 heading into 25, the Bills and or the Ravens, that can either one of those guys win a championship with that club?
Well, I think both of them can win a championship in their career. We were talking about the teams that they had right then.
Can they win it with the teams they have now?
Okay, let me go back to Lamar first. That team that he had around him, he didn't have elite wide receivers or running backs. Mm-hmm. I would say that the personnel he has now is the best personnel that he's had since he's been in the pros. Now, he's also had elite defenses and elite special teams. Defense, not quite as good. Mm-hmm. Special teams, kicker, not quite as consistent. Mm-hmm. So I think that he can still win championship. It's still about being supported. Josh is a great talent, just like Lamar, MVP candidate. The biggest argument with him was he overrated?
Correct.
That is crazy. Where are all those people? Where are all the receipts for the people before the season and the people that voted on most overrated player that made him second or first most overrated player? Mm-hmm. Where are all those people right now? Where are they speaking at? Are they doing horse shows or something, dog shows? What are they doing? They shouldn't be talking about football in depth.
They did say that.
Yeah. So it will be forever evolving. But what you have to bake into the cake now is when these guys make $50 million, all right, they are taking 20% of the salary cap. All right. So they are dependent upon the people in the front office to take that 80%, 70%.
20% goes to them. You got 80% left to put the pieces around them.
Yes.
And to win the game. Okay. There's your CEO. That's why you're the CEO.
So Buffalo's defense is a lot better. Now, he don't have big-time receivers and everything. The tight end should be a special player, Kincaid. So when you get in those one-and-out situations, do I have enough dudes around this dude to be able to win it? And Buffalo, even though they're off to a great start, surprising to people because they don't have the personnel. Stephon Diggs traded him to the Houston Texans. So they're trying to go at it a different approach, but still trying to get the same results.
Okay. Can they get a championship result with that squad? Current squad.
Yes.
They could.
Yeah.
Ravens too.
Yes, because they can have the best player on the field.
Got it.
No matter who they're playing against. They can play against Patrick Mahomes, and yes, he's the best player in the league, but these players can outplay him head-to-head, and when you can do that in the league, you're going to have a chance. And both of them typically have good defenses around them.
Got it.
Typically.
All right. Typically. I believe you. Small is not good, typically. So there's some good advice.
And as you go through the months and everything, it gets colder.
Yeah.
So Halloween, November.
Yeah.
And then based on Google, everything shrinks when it gets freezing. So if you start small,
that's just from Google.
Then
you start small, you get even smaller.
Go Google. Google it.
I got nothing to say after that. I really don't. Cris Carty, my man, I love you, bro. I appreciate it. Thanks for the like, subscribe, share. Appreciate y'all joining the Fully Loaded. We'll see y'all next week. Thanks.